Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to see how to solve this problem called move all zeros to end of array, right? So it's a GFG question. So before wasting much time, let's straight away look into the question. There is an array 35004. You will have to move all these zeros to the end of the array, right? So 35004 is there. So 35400 will be the answer, right? But you will have to make sure one more thing while maintaining the order of non-zero elements. That means you will have to make sure the non-zero elements should be placed in their correct order. Basically 3 comes before 5 and 5 comes before 4, right? So there is an order, so that order should be maintained in the output also, right? So let's look into the example number 2. 0004, the output is 4000. We are basically moving these three zeros to the end. So the question is very simple. So you will have to make sure two things, right? The first thing is to move zeros to the end, and the second thing is non-zero elements should be in the correct order, right? So the order should be maintained, right? So the most brute force way that comes to my mind is, can I store these non-zero elements in a vector or array something? Let's say an array non-zero nz, right? I'm going to store all the non-zero elements in this vector. So I'm going to iterate from starting from index 0 till the last index. So I'm going to check 3 is a non-zero. Yes, it is. So store 3 here. 5 is a non-zero. Yes, it is. So store 5 here. 0 is a non-zero. No. So don't do anything. Here also 0 came. Don't do anything. Okay, I got a non-zero element here. So I'm storing this element here, right? So non-zero, it's a vector that is having all the non-zero elements, right? Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these elements at the forefront of this array. So after placing all the elements, how will it look? It will look something like 3 will be here, 5 will come here, 4 will be coming here. So 4 will be coming here, right? Then can I say that all the non-zero elements are placed till here? Then I'm going to fill rest of the elements as 0. So I'll just make this also 0, right? So at the end you will be getting this 3, 5, 4, 0, 0, which is basically the answer. Basically what we did, we just took all the non-zero elements together, we placed it here, and then filled all the other indices with 0, right? But there is a problem. What is the problem? We are taking an extra space, right? So at worst case, let's say worst condition is all the elements are non-zeros, right? So in that case you will be consuming of n space, right? So your time complexity will be of n because you are iterating through this once, and space complexity will be also of n, but you have to remove this space. So what I'm saying not use any extra space, and I'm saying, bro, you have to change these elements only in such a way that you have to keep these elements in this order, right? So if I say something like this, not to use any data structure, so I'm saying not to use any extra space, no extra space, no extra space. And now I'm saying, bro, please don't use any space. Without using any extra space, please solve this. So what we are basically doing, we are actually interchanging the elements, right? So can we use some pointers and then change this to this array? I think we can. Let's see how we can do that. So what I'm saying, you should not use any space, right? So you will have to make some changes within the array, and you should not use any space. That means we can use pointers and we can, like, move the pointers here and there and do some changes in that, right? So let's see how we can do that. I'm going to set 2 pointers, and I want you to imagine one thing. Let's say there are so many elements, right? I'm going to keep all the zeros in between the first and the second pointer, right? So these all are zeros, and I'm making sure that the left side of this pointer, left side of the first pointer, they are non-zeros, non-zeros. That's what we want, right? So till here we want, but what about these elements? I'm going to move this arrow, right? I'm going to move this pointer, and the moment I encounter with some, let's say 4, 3, 6, something like that, which is not 0, I'm going to keep this 0 here, and then here there will be a 0. I'm going to keep that 0 here. Basically, we are swapping the elements of PTR1 and PTR1, sorry, PTR2. And after this, PTR1 will be having a non-zero value. So bro, I have to maintain all these elements should be 0, right? So please move one step ahead so that all the elements in between these two arrows are zeros. So after that, move this arrow by one step, right? So that this arrow will be pointing to the first 0 again, right? So that's what we are going to implement, right? So first of all, to implement that, we have to keep 2 pointers, right? The first pointer will be pointing to the first 0, right? So let's say I'm going to iterate, and I'm going to check which is the first index that contains the 0. I will be here, will come here then, and then will come here. And here I got a 0. That means I can fix pointer 1 here, then pointer 2 to PTR 1 plus 1, basically to the next index, right? And then I'm going to move this PTR ahead, and I'm going to check whether the current element of PTR2 is non-zero or not. If it is non-zero, I'm going to swap it with PTR1, and then I'm going to increment PTR1 by one step. So at this position, PTR1 is pointing to 0, PTR2 is pointing to 0 again. Here I don't have to do anything because PTR2 is pointing to 0. So I'm incrementing this pointer. So PTR2 will be here, and PTR2 is saying, bro, I have got a non-zero value. Please swap it with the PTR1. So after swapping, it will be 3, 5. After swapping, 4 will come here. So 4 will be here, 0 will be as it is, then this 0 will come here. So the array will be looking something like this. Then the PTR2 will go out, and the moment PTR2 goes out, your answer is ready. Let's dry run this on some other example. 10502005 maybe. PTR1 will be here because here is the first 0, right? So PTR1 will be here, and then PTR2 will be here at the beginning. So since PTR2 is having some non-zero value, I'm going to swap these two. So after swapping, it will be 1500200056, and the pointers will be these two, PTR1 and PTR2. And after swapping, we did one more thing. We actually incremented this PTR1, right? So now the PTR1 will be pointing here, not here. Now please increment PTR2. So PTR2 will be here. It is 0. Don't do anything. PTR2 will come here. PTR2, PTR2. Here I found a non-zero value. So I am going to swap PTR2 value and PTR1 value. PTR1 value, right? So we are going to swap these two. After swapping, this will be 1 5 2 0 0 0 0 5 6, right? So after swapping, I'm actually incrementing this PTR1 also, right? So PTR1 will be here, P1, and PTR2 will be here, PTR2. Again, I'm moving forward. PTR2 will come here. It's a 0, so don't do anything. So PTR2 will come here. Oh, I have found a non-zero value. Then again, I'm swapping these two. So after swapping, this will be 1 5 2 5 0 0 0 0 6. The pointer will be here. P1 will be incremented, so P1 will be here. PTR2 will be here. Then again, I'm looking forward. PTR2 will be here. So here I found again a non-zero value. I'm going to swap these two values. So after swapping, I will be getting 1 5 2 5 6 0 0 0 0, and the PTR1 will be here, and PTR2 will be here, right? And then I am incrementing PTR2 again, right? So the PTR2 will be here, this will go outside, and now you have got this answer. So that's how we are going to implement two pointers, right? So let's look into the code. The code is pretty simple. I'm going to keep a left pointer and a right pointer, right? So here I have taken left, which is basically PTR1, and I have taken right also, which is basically PTR2, right? So first find the first 0 position. So I'm going to iterate from 0 till n, and I'm going to find whether ARR of I is equal to 0 or not. If it is, store the index, then break it out. Then let's say I didn't get any zeros. That means the array doesn't have any zeros. So do we have to change anything? No, right? So in that case, let's say left is -1 at first, and if we couldn't find any index, left will be still -1, right? So in that case, we didn't find any zero. There is no zero in the array. So let's return as it is. But if there is some zero, then I'm going to move my pointer to that is right. Right equals to left plus 1. Right is lesser than n. Basically, this right will go till the last index, and the right will be incremented. And then I'm going to check whether error of right is not equal to 0 or not, whether I am getting a non-zero value or not. If it is, then I'm going to swap it with the left index, and then I'm going to increment this left index pointer. So after these operations, you will get the answer. So now let's discuss something about the time complexity, right? So this loop will run for n times, and this loop will run for n minus 1 time at the worst case, right? So we can just round it off and say it runs for O of n. So the time complexity will be O of n plus O of n, basically O of 2n. So if you ignore this constant, you will be getting O of n. And space complexity, are you taking any extra space here? No, right? Space complexity will be O of 1. So that's how you solve this problem using O of n time and O of 1 space. So I hope you understood the whole approach and the implementation. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. Until next time, see ya.